There's someone in my life who I love so much, but I absolutely dread being around them. Every single time I ask them the simple question, "How are you doing today?" I already know what's coming. Ugh, you know. What are you going to do about it? Which, if it was a one-off, I would be concerned. I would try to help them. But the thing is, it's literally every single time for the last several years. Something's always bothering them. Something's always hard. The world's always collapsing around them. So I find myself not even wanting to ask. Here's something interesting science has to say about that. Research by Dr. John Gottman, a psychologist at the University of Washington, found it takes 5 positive interactions in a relationship to offset just one negative one. Think about that. 1 negative exchange. 5 to emotionally recover from that. It's no wonder it's common advice to avoid having negative people in your life. It's literally like a black hole. What I find myself wishing this person would understand is what Marcus Aurelius once wrote. You have power over your mind, not outside events. Realize this, and you will find strength. He wrote that as a Roman emperor who presided over a plague, war, the deaths of several of his children, and chronic, debilitating stomach pain. He had some good reasons to be a miserable person, but he chose to exercise control over his state of mind. Another interesting historical example of this concept is Viktor Frankl, who survived 4 Nazi concentration camps. He lost his wife, his parents, his brother, his friends. If any human in history earned the right to be permanently, justifiably miserable in their existence, I would argue it would be him. Instead, he built an entire philosophy around the idea that the last human freedom we have is the freedom to choose your response to any circumstance. When literally everyone and everything was taken away from him, he found inner peace by choosing it. The chronically miserable person in your life isn't miserable because their life is harder than Viktor Frankl's. I think we can safely say that. They're miserable because misery has become a habit for them, a well-worn neural pathway. Now, it's hard and it's sad, but the good news is that habits can change, and so can the brain. Modern neuroscience shows us that when you practice gratitude genuinely, not performatively, your brain releases dopamine and serotonin, which are the same chemicals targeted by antidepressants. And the more you do it, the more you physically rewire your brain toward being more positive. Personally, I've been carrying a lot in life lately. Over $100,000 in student loans, no salary, new baby, trying to build a business from nothing. There are days where it feels like I'm walking around with weights on my ankles through a rainstorm. There are moments where I feel the pull towards the dark, where the miserable version of me wants to put down the mountain and sulk for a while. But then I look at my life. I have a beautiful baby daughter, a supportive wife. I'll have dinner with them tonight. I have a roof over my head. I have family that loves me. And I think to myself, that's enough. That's everything I could ask for. The infinite reasons we may choose to be unhappy will always be there, ever changing. We have to choose to look at the infinite reasons to be grateful instead. So let's practice tonight. Write down 3 things you are genuinely grateful to have. Not the things you want, the things you have. Food, a warm bed, a friend who cares. 3 things. Let's do that for 7 days straight and see what happens. Marcus Aurelius chose his state of mind over his circumstances every day. Viktor Frankl chose his state of mind inside a concentration camp. Choose to focus on gratitude in the middle of your hard seasons. What's something you're grateful for? Drop it in the comments for me. I read them all. Thank you for watching today.